Welcome back to our kitchen remodel. Now that we have new walls and new tile flooring, we are ready to get this kitchen back together. All right, so we've got all the cabinets where they're supposed to be as far as layout. And now we have the laser level, trying to get that set up. We'll get the laser level. And then the highest point of the cabinet, or the cabinets where they're sitting, which we think is the sink one, I'll show in a second, we're gonna level up to that. So we're gonna have to shim all of these to get them correctly leveled, if that makes sense. So it appears nothing can go right. I just knocked over my coffee.
Oh, that's nowhere near enough.
Let me grab. Okay, let's try this again. So the laser level is set up. Let's see if it shows. It does. So you can see how the line is above the cabinets there, but it's right on this front front cabinet right here. And then it goes up, and then it's right where the cabinet top is there. So this one's good. We'll just make sure it's level, but it looks pretty good. But when it comes to these, we're gonna go, this is the line we're going at. So this is proper. And these two cabinets we're gonna have to raise with some shims. And then even this cabinet, we need to raise the back a little bit. But if that makes sense, that's what we're about to work on. Yeah. And then once we get them shimmed, we will secure to the wall and to each other. I think that's how that goes.
And beyond.
You just direct me on what to do. I feel like I'm just gonna get in the way.
I know.
That's what I do best.
We need to lift this up. God. Woman!
I'm sorry. Dang it. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Pretty sure that wasn't the last time I bumped into the level. Anyways, this is not a very difficult task, but it's a tedious one that you need to take your time on. It's a lot of small adjustments with the shims, checking your level, adjusting again over and over until it's right where you need it before securing it to the wall. All right, first cabinet going in. You see, hold it. Still good there. Still good there. Okay. We got one cabinet in. Woohoo! We're probably gonna have to pull the oven out to do the rest because we couldn't pull this out because we've already done the plumbing coming through, so we couldn't pull the cabinet out. So that one was stuck unless we undid all the plumbing. Obviously we weren't gonna do that. So we're gonna have to work this direction. We're probably gonna have to move this oven back out in order to do that corner piece. All right, so we have this one, the sink cabinet screwed in. We have the cabinet next to it, how we want leveled and shimmed. But before we anchor it to the wall, thank you, we're going to attach the cabinets together. We're gonna use these screws, just like 1.25 inches, I believe. 1.25 inches. And that should be perfect. Chris is going to, oh, I don't know what got all over me. Chris is going to cut down 3/4 inch plywood. Is that what it is then? 1/2 inch plywood to sit in between to screw and help anchor these together. That's what we're going to do. Hello. All right, so we have the bottom cabinets in, appliances back in place. We still need to do plumbing, obviously. The sink is not in. So today we're gonna be working on getting these countertops installed. So I'm gonna show you what we have. We're gonna get the sink in, hopefully get the plumbing done, and basically gonna have a functioning kitchen again, which is pretty exciting. Our goal was to get all of this lower portion back in place because that's what makes the kitchen functioning, right? Is countertops, appliances, and most importantly, the sink. So that's our goal. We still have a lot to do in here, but first off, let's go ahead and get these countertops going. All right, let's head outside, check out these countertops. These are European white oak butcher block countertops. We have a 12-foot piece and an 8-foot piece, and we're gonna have quite a bit left over, but that's okay because it's gonna give us some room in case we make a mistake, but I don't anticipate us doing that. So we'll have some
make a mistake. What?
Yeah. So we're gonna get these cut down, we're gonna get them fitted, and I'll show you how we're gonna finish them and seal them and all that good stuff. So let's get started. We are starting with the corner of the kitchen. So this goes over the Lazy Susan. Then what we're gonna do is, with the 8-foot piece behind me, cut off probably about only a 1/2 inch is what we're guessing, and that will basically cover the entire length of all the way to the window where like the sink is gonna be over the dishwasher, that portion. Then that small area between the oven and the refrigerator, we'll use the other end of that piece. So we're gonna have quite a bit extra. How you feel about that cut?
It's pretty clean.
I think so too. Yeah.
Tape out there. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's still heavy.
That looks so good. Nice little overhang there. So one of the things that's really nice, what I love about this, okay, our last cabinets, the cabinets were sitting on the subfloor and the tile just went up to it. So when you're standing on the tile, your cabinets are already lower than the tile, and then you're standing on top of the tile, so it was like your cabinets were shorter. Does that make sense? So these cabinets feel really tall all of a sudden. They're like much taller, which Chris and I are not short people, so we definitely appreciate that. And you can tell because our last cabinets, the countertops were even with the stove, and so we gained a nice, I don't know, almost ½ inch, don't you think?
Yeah.
Of height. You wouldn't think like a ½ inch would feel that drastic, but it does feel much taller than what it used to be.
Yeah. Looks great.
Looks so good. All right.
So different.
So different. All right, so before we secure the countertops together and then secure to the cabinets, we're gonna go ahead and put a finishing coating on the underside of the cabinets just for a little protection. So what we're gonna be using is the Real Milk Paint Company, their dark half. So it's a blend of dark tung oil and a citrus solvent. So we've never used this before. I watched some videos on things that people use to seal their butcher block countertops, and I liked this one. I liked it for the looks of, from what I could tell on YouTube, and it's also like food safe. So I liked that as well. So we're gonna go ahead and try it on the underside of the cabinets. We're gonna get probably 1 to 2 coats on, and for the top, we're gonna be doing a lot more coats. I'm not sure how much it's gonna take, but we're gonna basically coat it until it absorbs as much as it can. But on the underside, they recommended probably like 1 to 2 coats on the underside, since it shouldn't come in contact with water or anything. So just a light protection before we secure them down. So see what this looks like. Not gonna lie, I do kind of like it lighter, but this is what, I originally thought, darker, and sticking to it. I know it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna look pretty, whether it's light, whether it's dark, whether it's medium. So we're gonna see how this looks. I guess if we put it on and it's just too terribly dark, it's the underside, so no harm, no foul, and we could order the lighter version of this. So here we go. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know how much to pour out. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking using a microfiber towel, but next time I would brush it on and then use the towel to wipe it off after it sat for a little bit. It obviously turned out okay, but too much of the product soaked into the towel, so it was pretty wasteful doing it that way. Lesson learned. Also, make sure you open your windows because this has a very strong smell that lasts. It's a citrus scent, and so initially it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty intense and lingered, leaving me a headache in its wake. Beautiful color. We're starting with this standalone piece right now, so we have it in place. This is what it's going to look like. And in the 4 corners of the cabinet are these little brackets right here. And there is a hole in the center where you can drill up through the bracket and then into the countertop to secure it down. So that's what we're about to do. We're going to drill a pilot hole first, and then it's said to use these number 10 screws that are 1¼ inch. So we'll sit like that and go into the countertop and secure them down. there's lots of ways to do this. If we wanted to go spend a couple $100s, we could get a biscuit joiner and do a biscuit joiner. If we wanted to drill in dowels, we could drill in dowels. If we wanted to use, what was that thing you were looking at earlier? That like buckle.
I can't remember what it's called. Anyways,
there's like this big old bracket at the bottom you can put in and tighten it. You could do it that way. What we're gonna do is glue it.
Screw it down.
So we're gonna screw down this first piece, this smaller piece. We're gonna get that in place. We're gonna drill up from the underneath of the cabinet into the countertop and secure that one. Then we're gonna take this larger piece and we're gonna fit it in place. We're gonna put a bead of glue, and then we're gonna drill that into place. So, no need for judgment here. This is just how we're doing it. You do however you wanna do it. This isn't your kitchen. You do however you want in your kitchen. I don't wanna hear it. So we'll get this, we'll fill this tiny little gap with some sawdust, and then we'll just have to sand this whole seam smooth because we just can't get that back corner to pull down a little. But that's all right. But you know what? We officially have countertops. We saved the sawdust from when we cut the butcher block down to size, mixed it with glue, and filled the small gap between the boards, then sanded it down once it dried. This honestly worked so well, you would never know that there was a gap there to begin with. After that, we cut the hole for the sink using a jigsaw and a router, which unfortunately I did not get on camera. But then we cut the hole for the faucet and installed the sink. We cleaned it first with some alcohol and then generously applied some silicone. And while Chris held up the sink in place, I screwed in the mounting brackets underneath. Once the sink was installed, we started applying the sealant to the top of the countertops. Over the course of the next day, we applied several coats to the top until it appeared to not absorb anymore. Good job. I think the gold looks so good with it. This is the champagne gold. It looks so pretty with the black. We'll take that tape off obviously eventually. Still need to coat the inside, so that's why I didn't want the water to keep running. All right. Good job, babe. What a long weekend. That's it.
Time to go back to work.
In the next video, we redo some of the planks on the ceiling, get the upper cabinets installed, all the doors and hardware on, and take a slight detour from the kitchen to tackle a project that we've been putting off for a while. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.